welcome to the Brantford Musicians Association's Meet and Greet and Information Night. Tonight, we present our special guests, Rachel Hart and Mary Simon. After tonight's festivities, please feel free to stick around and meet your fellow musicians. Now let me introduce to you our president and moderator for this evening, Tom Atkins.
No, we don't need a microphone. We'll pick it up. So anyway, thanks for showing up. Even if you're just lucky happenstance that you're here. This is I'm president of the Brantford Musicians Association, and we represent the musicians in the area. And one of our mandates is to put information seminars on about the business, and it is a business. So I'd like you guys to give a big hand, Rachel and Mary, and then we're going to talk about some questions. Right?
Folks, my name is Mary Simon. I'm going to play, and this is Rachel Hart. We're going to go back and forth and play some original music for you all, and we're going to start with this one. This is a song about my wonderful, flawless driving record. Because I've maybe been in a few accidents, and then maybe I've had a few speeding tickets. But I'd like to say we all got regrets. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, wanna take it all back. Point your finger, what I like is the table was turned. I cut you slack. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, wanna take it all back. 2 a.m. on Friday, I was leaving the bar. Shoulda walked home, but it was way too far. Sirens wailed and I hit the gate. Didn't know she could go that fast. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, wanna take it all back. Point your finger, what I like. The table was turned, cut you slack. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, wanna take it all back. Speed through town on a Sunday morning, paid no attention to the streets unwarning. Almost threw the preacher into my surprise. She said, Jesus Christ, girl, learn how to drive. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, wanna take it all back. Point your finger, what I like. The table was turned, cut you slack. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, wanna take it all back. Slow down with Mary Jane. Oh, this life can't be insane. Good love just ain't my game. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, wanna take it all back. Point your finger, what I like. The table was turned, not too slack. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, wanna take it all back. What could possess me to get into the music business? Well, I have this dream. I had this dream that I could make money doing music. And sometimes it's working out and sometimes it's not.
What brought you to the music business? You know, it's along the same lines as Mary as well. But I found that, I don't know, my life just kept going in a way, and I just kept responding basically to my community, and more doors kept opening. I don't know, it just kind of fell into it. How about that?
Fair enough. Nobody would make it conscious.
Exactly.
It comes from a hard place, rather.
No, I mean there's all kinds of reasons. But like when you're talking about the business and you're talking about the art and craft of songwriting, it's very different. So Canadian music business is
We both Rachel and I have worked on the business end and as artists, so we've kind of been in both worlds. And the business is okay, but the fun is being the artist. My opinion.
But the business is, what you have to realize about the business is that it can break your heart. You know, it really can. And the reason for that, I think, because, you know, if you're an artist and you're pursuing something, you're trying to express yourself, and then you're coming into a vulnerable position by presenting that. And I think I mean, maybe, I would like to know what your opinion is, but the Canadian music business, I would say, is predominantly DIY, to be honest. I think that's like, realistically, it's a DIY thing, because it's almost a lottery to be signed, or to have representation. It can be very expensive. You know, if you have a bunch of money backing you, very easily you can go out there and you can get yourself a manager, you can get yourself a
According to promote
a publisher. So if you had a publisher and you paid them 40 grand, boom, you're in. Like, no big deal. Like, you know, so that's kind of the realistic way that the business works in Canada, in my opinion. You can build it from the bottom up, and you know, you do. So something compels you to continue to go and do that. Often what you'll find is you'll fall on your ass. You will pick it back up, you know, and you keep going. And the why is different for everybody. You know, whether it's, oh, I really want to make money, or, oh, I really want to have 5 CDs done by the age of 35. Like, I don't know what your goals are, but if you're thinking about the music business and becoming famous, first of all, be careful what you wish for, and also because you don't know what that actually means. You know, it's a big sacrifice to become famous. There's a lot of sacrifice in that. You become part of the public domain and so on. So, but slugging it down here in the singer-songwriter community, for me, the music business has been my community. It has been, and I don't approach it in a business way. I approach it in a way of creating rapport, relationships, your integrity, showing up, doing what you're saying you're going to do. And that way, that's business, and that's good business anywhere. So, what do you think?
It's a whole different world.
Okay, so talk about, so people don't maybe know this very much about Mary, but Mary has worked on cruise ships before. So that's an industry. Yep, that's an industry in the music business that you can be a part of if you want to.
Actually, when I think of the music business, I think of Canadian Music Week. I think of the biggest music festival in Canada that has all the upcoming bands at it, and they have award shows and a conference, and that's where everyone comes and hubs together. And I worked for the Canadian Music Week for many years. So that's my biggest experience as far as the business of managers and booking agents and radio stations all coming together and making things happen. Sorry I diverted from the cruise ships. What kept me there? Well, I had some great opportunities. I got to take songwriters across Canada speaking about songwriting. I got to run a songwriting contest, which I myself had come in second place back in the day. I got to meet lots of people in the industry, even though at the time I was too shy to push my own music. So it was hard to wear two hats, but
I think that's a really good point, is wearing hats. And so, like, if we get back to like the actual topic of this evening, you guys were pointing specifically at women in music business. Yeah, so like typically women are wearing, I mean, we all wear several hats. Okay, let's just say that there's a ground level of all of that. Male, female, trans, whatever it is. But when wearing that many hats, you know, promoting your music, writing your music from a place of vulnerability, then you have to go and promote it. If you have any issues whatsoever that you haven't figured out since high school or when you were a kid or whatever, that's all going to come out in your work. That goes across the board on any endeavor, okay? But I have found in music as well, because that's one of the ways I express myself. But so it's hard if you're shy. You know, you got to, and you're not having somebody beside you going, no, get your butt out there. Like, that isn't in it for some other reason, like to get a piece of tail or to get a. So these are things that, you know, are challenges, and which creates the warriorship of, in my opinion, the warriorship of being a female in the music business. You're wearing a lot of hats. For my own personal self, I had a young family when my 2 albums came out. I had the time to record and, you know, write and get really comfortable with my instrument, but I didn't have all the other hats in place, or the know-how, or the being able to be free and go to, you know, different. So it was different. So you have a different side, but I think what we're saying is sort of similar, is that it's really hard, it's challenging, and it's a challenge that I always try to tackle over and over. But it's challenging to do all the things. Yeah. Chauvinism? Yeah. It's not a delicate topic, though, in the sense that, you know, it's something that we are always dealing with in any room. It doesn't matter if it's the music room or wherever it is. I don't know if you found the same thing, but
I agree.
Exactly. Yeah. So Gail is just mentioning Lilith Fair. So Lilith Fair being a celebration, bringing together women, and, you know, celebrating their talent and their art. So, but the fact that we have to do that, Mary had printed out a whole bunch of facts about the discrepancies of male versus female in the industry. So I don't know if you have it around or handy or whatever.
Okay.
These are some facts. These are facts.
I think, okay. So this is based on 2022, and of all the artists on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2022, 30% were women. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And only 6.5% are songwriters. And only 20% are producers. So we're still in a major minority in this world of music.
Exactly. To the degree that there are festivals, sometimes festivals bring in a protocol specifically that they hire X amount of female talent. Like, they literally have to bring it into a protocol because that's how much of an issue it is. Yes, Supercrawl is one of those festivals. So Supercrawl in Hamilton, I know that they do that. They have a certain protocol to hire X amount of female musicians.
Because they're receiving government funding that requires them to.
Right. Okay. So, yes, it's not just a hunch, it's a thing. It's not a condition of a permit, but it would be a condition of funding. So funding, the parameters of the funding. Yep. But that's why this kind of an evening is a very good thing.
Typical in a lot of government funding is reaching the, including untapped markets.